Our restoration of a 1975 Skimmer 12 hovercraft has hit choppy water. This lady has no skirt, and she's been mistreated.
It's a real bodge up, and it's actually quite dangerous.
But we're determined that she'll ride the waves once more. And while Claire sorts out the mess, I'm on diplomatic business up in London, looking up an old friend of the Skimmer 12.
I don't know about you, but I thought it would be a jolly good idea to try and convince the Sultan to take a ride in his old hovercraft when we've had it restored. Well, I've got a nice suit, I've got an appointment at the Oman embassy. What do you reckon? Do you think you'll fancy taking a spin in it for old time's sakes? I shall let you know.
The Sultan of Oman is the ruler of this oil-rich country, and over a nice cup of tea, the embassy staff explained how in 1975 their boss had a bit of a problem.
These three craft, leaving the Pindair factory at Gosport in England, are bound for a customer 4,000 miles away.
He needed a fast way of shifting himself and his staff between his palace on the coast and his luxury yacht, as you do. The Skimmer 12 was the perfect solution. It was easy to drive and simple to maintain, and quite groovy as well. It was in service for years until the Sultan traded his yacht in for the bigger version with a helicopter pad. Cool, I could do with one of those myself.
Well, I've had a lovely cup of tea, but unfortunately the Sultan is a very busy man and can't make it. But he does seem to remember our old hovercraft with some affection, and he's given us the right to put the Royal Oman crest on the side of it. And he's made a small donation towards its rebuild. What a lovely chap.
One of the reasons the Skimmer was attractive to the Sultan and other buyers was that its basic mechanics made it easy to operate and to maintain. It was a crucial decision because other early hovercraft needed huge amounts of power. They used gas turbine engines from the aircraft industry. These were expensive, heavy on fuel, and fiendishly complex to repair. The Skimmer made a real breakthrough using bog-standard Chevy V8s. However, our engine is far from perfect.
I reckon this engine's not going to run. It just needs a good clean. It is amazing what you can do with a wire brush. But we cheated and got a reconditioned engine, 240 horsepower, 5.7 litres. What a brute. The V8 might be powerful, but it's as common as muck. Just what you need for an easy-to-operate hovercraft.
Over 30 million of these engines have been manufactured, and they've been selected for their compactness, lightweight, reliability, and worldwide spares availability.
As always, it's me, Suggs, who has to bring my engineering skills to Claire's rescue.
Well, Claire, I'm suitably attired and ready to help.
Looking very beautiful today.
Thank you.
Just sensible shoes. Well, we're about to lift up the engine and put it back in the craft, I believe is the correct term.
Yeah.
Keep being told off to go and get a boat. So get going on the chains.
This one?
Go on.
Oh, hold on.
It'll take some time.
Right, okay. Is this going to be hard?
No.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's just a lot of time.
It's not going very fast, John.
Well, you seem to be taking your time over it.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Ah, these projects are great when everyone pulls together.
Just another
Up, down, up, down. Are we there?
Yeah.
Have you lined that up properly, Claire? I'm not pulling it out again.
Well, that's 200 horses raring to go. What next for Suggs's magic touch?
Well, Darren, even to the untrained eye, I would surmise that this is the propeller.
Yep, certainly is.
And it looks like it needs a bit of work.
Yep, we've got a few cracks and things on it. Not looking too good.
Will this start falling to bits then if we don't?
It certainly will, yeah. These bits will come flying off if we try and run it like
Oh, we
that.
don't want that. Is this a first? Suggs doesn't cock it up? Wait and see. Well, Spoke a little bit too soon, but Darren's very capable of getting rid of a few blobs. Of course, the only way to truly find out if that's stuck properly is when it starts turning around at 150 mile an hour.
Yeah, I'm stood well clear.
Yeah, I bet you are. See that? When Claire's not here, everything's going swimmingly. She just doesn't trust me. But you trust me, don't you, Darren?
I'll let you know.
I'm single-handedly saving this project, Claire.
While the mouth is singing his own praises, I'm getting down to it, repairing the wooden propeller duct with Bill.
And our middle line to mark.
But just like making cakes. This design was a stroke of genius. Not only did the duct concentrate the power of the propeller so that all the push went backwards, it also muffled the noise, making the ride quieter.
You happy?
Yep.
Staple it. Well, what do you think?
I reckon you can make a living doing this, Bill.
I'll try.
It's almost professional.
Almost. You're happy with it, aren't you?
Yeah, very happy, very happy. Good job, good job.
Okay.
It's all coming together, man.
56 metres long and capable of 65 knots when her 4 Rolls-Royce Proteus gas turbines kicked out their full 50,000 pounds of thrust. The SRM-4 was for many the pinnacle of hovercraft design. Now they're long gone, killed off by high fuel and maintenance costs. But the hovercraft is not dead, and I was keen to see what had replaced them in the world of commercial hovercraft. Hence my trip to the Isle of Wight with Mike Pindair.
Hello, Sykes. Hello then. There you go.
The Portsmouth to Isle of Wight shuttle has moved with the times and is now a hover success story.
I must say, it's a fabulous way to travel. It really does feel like you're flying. I'm presuming it can cope with this kind of choppy
Oh
stuff.
yeah, yes. This craft seems operating in Force 8 conditions here, quite big waves. Oh, I don't know what you think of the ride, but a bit like an aircraft, is it?
It is, indeed, it is. With the occasional bit of turbulence, but you don't drop 2,000 feet, which is nice.
No.
The ferry started in 1965 with the SRN-6, powered by a Rolls-Royce gas turbine, and has carried 20 million passengers to date.
I go to the office every day, like lots of other people. Only down here, we commute by hovercraft. We could go by boat, of course, but hover travel is, well, quicker. On a day like this, we're soon doing 50 knots.
What began with an aircraft-based hovercraft, the SRN-6, now uses a commercially viable modern craft based on marine technology like the skimmers.
So this is a lovely looking craft, Mike, but what's so special about this one?
Well, this is a direct descendant of the Skimmer 12. It uses a lot of the same technology.
In fact, the AP-188 is just like a big Skimmer 12. It has a welded aluminium hull, ducted propellers, and uses simple diesel engines.
The Skimmer 12 was really the start of the third generation of hovercraft development. But
How does it make you feel travelling on this?
Great. It's nice to see, you know, this is the state-of-the-art of hovercraft, and it's still the beginning of what will be a major force in transportation around the world.
So you still have a great deal of optimism for the hovercraft?
Oh, I do, yes.
So, our Skimmer 12, far from being a washed-up has-been, is in fact the forerunner of these and all modern machines. Well, the future looks bright for these hovercraft, but until we make the last crucial component of our skimmer, we'll be going nowhere.
Early hovercraft didn't use skirts, they just had jets of air to keep them floating. But this open design made them difficult to steer because they followed the contours of the ground. The solution was a curtain of material which holds in the air cushion, making the craft far easier to control. Trouble is, it's not a solid piece of material. but 106 pieces called fingers, which all have to be made by hand. And guess who's got the job? We're going to have to speed up. "102, 103, 104, 105, 106. Bingo! And the result of all my hard work? 106 fingers of rubber that look like half an ice cream cone. These are all lined up around the base of the hovercraft and will funnel the air jets downwards. The skirt will be attached to the rubber inflatable we repaired earlier, and it's this lump we have to attach to the hull first.
So that goes in there.
And in this high-tech age, there is an essential bit of kit for getting the inflatable in place. Washing up liquid. Is that working, Bill? Are you sure about this?
Nice and clean.
Okay. All right, about 6 inches, and that's it.
Right, that's it.
Okay.
Woo!
Job done.
That wasn't bad. After all that moaning and complaining, the washing up liquid did it. That and 6 blokes. But the washing up liquid mainly. Let's get some air in this thing. Now we've blown up the inflatable, we can get on with attaching the skirt. In the old days of aircraft-style hovercraft design, the high-tech boffins would probably have developed some kind of space-age glue to do this. Mike, however, found a bit of string worked just as well. Now it's the turn of the duct, which we broke last time we shifted it. Let's hope we don't have a repeat performance, as now it's as good as new. I like the way, Bill, you're treating it with kid gloves now.
Need to, with all the work that's gone into it.
Oi, Claire, there's some particularly fine workmanship on that propeller. Look after it.
Can you get up and back this? Yeah, that's fantastic.
There's one part of the hovercraft, though, which has needed absolutely no attention whatsoever. Those indestructible orange vinyl seats just have to go back in for that authentic 70s ghastliness.
For a Sultan, but I can't lounge around. We promised Mike that he'd get the chance to drive his beloved skimmer again, and the Hovercraft Museum have asked if we can deliver in a couple of days, as they want time to test her out before a big fundraising event. We'd better get cracking.
Try that, Claire. And the other way. That's good.
The Skimmer 12 has been a real team effort. We've had electronics, carpentry, metalwork, we've even made a rubber skirt. And everyone's confident that their bit works. But will it all work together? Will we get a nice smooth ride, or will it just tear itself to pieces?
After a late night, we're nearly done. But we still have to run vital tests on its seaworthiness. I don't like the look of that weather. It's not too bad here, but out at sea, the wind is howling and the waves are choppy. We really need to take her out, but this is a completely untried machine. If we've made any mistakes in our rebuild, this unforgiving sea could sink our project. Dare we risk it? Of course we do.
What do you think then, John?
Oh, there's a bit of a lump on the water, but in fact the wind has not, I think it's dropped a bit now, so...
We're actually quite sheltered here.
Yeah, we are sheltered here, yes.
I'm still being blown about though.
Yes, it's not quite smooth.
How will the hovercraft react to it?
Well, it handles the waves quite well if there's, there's this sort of size, but of course we have just put it all back together again after being apart from it 10 years, so it's not the ideal thing to go into a...
You want a mill pond out there,
well,
don't you?
it's nice to have it calmer rather than rougher, certainly.
You really
try
have
putting down-
chance it?
Yeah, we'll go, let's start off, go down there a bit further and just see what it looks like. And if it gets worse, we'll turn around and come back
Okay.
in.
We'll see if Suggs' stomach is up to it.
Yeah.
He's looking a bit green just looking out here.
I really don't fancy being stranded out there on the high seas. I think I'll check this weather thing out myself.
Now, much as I appreciate Claire, on this particular occasion, I really, really don't feel like taking a hovercraft out in this. Can you tell her next time you see her?
Let's hope that the Sultan's crest will bring us luck. I think I'll need it, because Claire has somehow managed to press gang me into joining the hovercraft crew for the restored skimmer's maiden voyage.
Claire, it's getting really rough out there.
Come on, go to.
I don't fancy this at all. Help! Help! Okay, that's great. It works. Hallelujah. Take it back in.
Don't listen to Suggs, this is wonderful. It's not my fault he's got the same colour as the upholstery.
Core, this craft is taking a right battering, and this is only in the estuary. It will be much worse out in the open seas. We haven't even begun our checks, but John is adamant that it's not worth the risk. Safety has to come first. So, thankfully, we're turning back.
Suggs made me happy, but it's not good news. The skimmer still isn't tested. Our owner Mike is expecting to drive it tomorrow. And worse still, the weather forecast is bad. Will he ever get his hands on his beloved hovercraft again?